Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. My name is John. I review everything on this channel that has anything to do with coffee, subject of this video, and alcohol. And I have a playlist that's going to prove that to you. Just get in there. Get into that playlist. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Be time well spent. Trust me. And it's free. Now, I'm going to change the way I'm talking here because you got to take me serious, right? We're going to talk about how to make a really good cup of coffee. All right? To make a really good cup of coffee, and most of you have never had it, what you have to do is you have to get up every day at the exact same time and weigh yourself. Make sure your scale that you're weighing yourself on cost at least $500. That's how we're going to tell if it's a good scale. It seems to be the cutoff point. If you weigh more than usual, you want to put a little more coffee in the morning. If you find that you're lighter than usual, use a little less coffee. Right? That's number one. Number two, we're going to weigh our coffee, right? 16 to 1. 16 parts water, 1 part coffee. How are you going to weigh it? A scale? What kind of scale? Any kind of scale. Needs to be $350 or more. That seems to be the cutoff. Make sure you weigh it and make sure it's exact every single time. The coffee and the water exact. Now, how are you going to make this? What are you going to put? Where are you going to get the coffee? Well, whole beans, preferably from somebody named Juan Valdez. Right? And you're going to pay enough for this coffee to make him, his family, and his jackass that takes that coffee from the top of the mountain down to the bottom rich. It's very important that we do this. Right? Got this. You're going to get whole bean, of course. Don't be caught dead with anything flavored, pre-ground, and God forbid you use instant. All right? If you're going to use instant, just get the hell off this channel right now. And you don't know what a good cup of coffee is. Is it coffee? I'm going to say it, just try it. All right, so we get that far now. Going to make it in a vessel. I don't care if it's a French press. I don't care if it's a pour over. It has to be lead-free crystal. And I mean fine crystal. You want to tink it. You should hear different tones for about a half an hour. Maybe a symphony orchestra. That's how you know you have good Austrian crystal. Makes a difference in coffee. Now, the funnel that you use, right, to pour in the funnel, there's an area there. And some people use paper filters. If you're going to use a paper filter, make sure it comes from the Mezonora, Japanese Mezonora oak tree. You want good coffee, that's the kind of paper filter you need to use. If you're using a non-paper filter, right, like a screen, make sure it is sterling silver. It's the only way to get really good cup of coffee. Right? You want to have a good cup of coffee. Most of you have never had a really good cup of coffee. The water, you think you're going to get it out of the tap? I don't think so. You want glacial water that is certified to come from a glacier that was frozen at least 10,000 years ago. It is pure water that will make the best cup of coffee. This should, when you grind your coffee beans, the best grinder to get, make sure it starts out at $2,500. They make the best grinders you can buy. The water, your glacial water, should be heated in a teapot. The best kind are actually come from the Ming Dynasty. Makes the best cut porcelain, just makes such good coffee. If you've never had a really good cup of coffee. So at the end of the day, make sure that when you add up your equipment, it's at least $18,000 if you want a good cup of coffee. Even to the scale you're going to step on the morning to weigh yourself. Very important. And furthermore, if you make this cup of coffee and it takes you less than an hour, you've done it wrong, pour it out and try it again. Right? This has to be done exactly right. And if anybody ever uses the word cowboy coffee, or those heathens will take grinds and boil them in a pot for hours. Let it simmer a little and then carefully pour it into a glass. Well, you get away from them. They are unclean. All right, you're welcome. I'm going to teach you how to drink wine, and I'm going to teach you how to drink whiskey. See, you're going to love it. You're going to have so much fun.